John Fetterman, questions about him. We said in the morning meeting this morning that none of us think he's going to be in office for very long. And it's one of these very complicated stories where people in the press know more than they can say. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm in that same camp. We hear things that either our sources won't authorize us to say, or we're not sure that we don't feel they're sufficiently confirmed. In some cases, maybe they'd be uncomfortable to report. I'm not saying that's true in this case, but it's this great question for us that sometimes civilians, non-journalists, maybe say, well, that's ridiculous. Like, let's say somebody told me John Fetterman had stolen 100 pigs from a farm in Pittsburgh, but they said it's off the record. You can't report that he stole 100 pigs. And they said, here's some photos of him stealing the pigs, but you can't use these. These are off the record. There are people who aren't journalists who'd say, well, we're obligated to report that because he's a public official and he stole 100 pigs and it's documented. But if the source says it's off the record, then you can't report it. You say, well, you're being more loyal to one person than you are to all the people of Pennsylvania who deserve to know that their senator stole 100 pigs. Again, this is a hypothetical. As far as I know, he didn't steal any pigs. So I can just tell you, I'm trying to be as transparent as I can without violating any professional rules. Reporters know more about John Fetterman and what's going on in his life now than I've seen reported anywhere. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about a couple things that happened at the White House briefing, reconciliation, the oft scrutinized Rubio-Witkoff relationship, and there's an incredible war between. It's so fascinating. I wish I had followed it more closely, but there's an incredible war between what's his name? What's Casey Means' brother's name?
Callie.
Callie Means, who's been on this program. I'm sorry, I'm just bad at remembering names. Callie Means is so if Laura Loomer comes after you or a loved one, the reaction of most people is lay low, hope no one notices, stay out of the way. But Callie's reaction has been to just go right back at her. And I don't know how much, I don't know. I'm going to ask our guests if they've been tracking that too, but just an incredible thing because Twitter is not real life. And I've not seen any press coverage of this, but I follow them both on Twitter and it's so interesting. Callie Means a relatively mild-mannered guy. He's not a weak person, but he's not someone who I would have thought would necessarily, particularly because he's a special government employee, I would not have thought necessarily that he would decide that the way to deal with his sister being attacked by Laura Loomer was to go right back at Laura Loomer. Very compelling to me, just as a human. It's not going to be of concern to too many people. All right. Let's start talking about all this. As always, if you want to get in on the conversation and you're here on the two-way platform like Mr. Peter Cloth. Peter, no, that's not Cloth. That's an I. Siath. Is that how you pronounce your name, Peter? Siath? Maybe. Well, no, it's not. Maybe. No, I don't know. That's what it looks like. Anyway, if you're here on the two-way platform like Peter C, and you want to ask a question, please raise your hand. If you're watching on YouTube or X, don't raise your hand. Don't put smack in the chat. I have to say, I don't know John Fetterman. I've met him once, but I feel bad for him and his family. This is a very hard situation. I extend the presumption of grace to him, and I feel nothing but peace, love, and understanding towards him personally. But this is a very difficult professional situation for him. Less difficult for reporters, but there is a degree of difficulty there as well. All right.
Want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.